Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. I do appreciate it. Today's beer comes from St. Arnold Brewing Company. These guys are down in Texas. This is their Divine Reserve number 18. And guys, I've done several different versions of the Divine Reserve. St. Arnold's does some really tasty stuff. You guys down in Texas that can get this stuff. Pretty tasty stuff. Yes, it is. I want to thank Brandon C. for sending me this beer. He sends me a lot of beers from down in Texas that I cannot get here in Virginia. So I do appreciate it. So Brandon, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate it, sir. He puts a little note on some of these beers that he sends me. It says it was brewed in October 31st of 2017, and it was bottled on February the 1st of 2018. Today is July the 7th of 2018. So it's been in the bottle about 5 months. Says the alcohol here is 13.4%, 48 IBUs. The malt's Two-Row, Cara 45, C120, and Midnight Wheat. Hops are Zeus. So, and the yeast is house yeast, St. Arnold's yeast is what they're calling it. So, big long commercial description on this one, guys. I am going to read it, so bear with me here. It says, Divine Reserve 18, we used a grain bill that required 4 times the amount of grain as Fancy Lawnmower, dosed in 2 additions of Belgian candied syrup during fermentation to provide an adrenaline shot to the yeast, and to let the beer rest for 3 months before adding a small amount of Madagascar vanilla beans as an additional layer of complexity. The beer pours a rich darkness, though light passes through, topped with a mocha-colored head. The aroma is filled with molasses, vanilla, baker's chocolate, and rich dark fruit. Our house yeast, the flavor profile starts with rich chocolate and raspberries and dipped in honey, then builds on dried, dank, or dark cherry notes, and finishes with a wine-like silkiness. Pretty complex beer, according to what they're telling us here. So, big beer at 13.4%. Untapped has it at 48 IBUs. That's what's on the bottle. So, a big-time beer, final beer of the evening for me here. I do appreciate Brandon C. spending his hard-earned money on this and getting them up here to me to review, since I cannot get them here. And they do some really tasty stuff, guys. So I don't expect anything less from this. That is it. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. So without further ado, let's get the cap off of this thing. Nice little hiss. A little bit of smoke coming out. And while I pour this, guys, I will tell you the food pairings. It says the cheeses are buttery, brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss. General chocolate, digestive, meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware to pint, Becker, non-tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. I got my favorite tulip glass today, and it says here can be sold for a long period of time. At 13.4%, I could not agree more. It should sell it very, very well, guys. And I've had it for several months. He has sent this to me a while back, so it has been in the fridge, cellaring. So not much of a head on that pour, and I poured it fairly aggressive, about a quarter finger, just barely covering up the top of the beer. It is pitch black, guys. Not seeing any light coming through the beer. To the nose we go. Rich roasted malt. Hints of caramel, toffee, black molasses, bittersweet chocolate. Maybe some dark fruit in there too. Maybe some raisins or dates or plums. Smells pretty awesome. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my brother. I do appreciate it. All the wonderful beers you send me. Oh, yeah. That is delicious. Little bit of alcohol in there. 13.4%. A lot of times it's hard to hide that much alcohol. It's not overbearing. It's not burning or doing anything like that. If I'd have had this beer 8-10 years ago, I would have found it probably super boozy. Would have not liked it. But beer tastes are very subjective, depending on where your palate is, what you're used to drinking, what you have drank. Right now, I find it very enjoyable. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla, some oak woodiness. That's very delicious, guys. A great final beer of the evening, which it is for me. Big beer, big taste, big aromas. A perfect candidate to go with a nice, super dark Maduro wrapped cigar. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to step out on the deck and fire up a stogie, a nice dark stick. And I love those cigars, especially the dark Maduro wrapped cigars with these big, dark, bold, big beers. That's very nice. That's very pleasant. Alright guys, we're going to sip on it, let her taste it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this for a while now. Very nice beer. Very, very nice beer. I don't think it's quite to the 10 category, a little bit on the boozy side. But you got to remember it's a 13.4%er. I had beers that are a little smoother to drink than this one. But it's still not off-putting to me. 10 years ago, I would have found this very unenjoyable. But right now, it is enjoyable. But it does have a little bit of booziness to go with it at 13.4%, like I said. A lot of stuff going on with this. This would be a great candidate seller for 5, 10, 15 years. And see if it gains in complexity and the bouginess of size a little bit. Still very enjoyable. I would buy this beer, guys. I would. If I could get it here, I would buy this beer because it's a 13.4%. It is a very well made beer. I don't find the alcohol off-putting to me now. Like I said, it may have been a different story 8 to 10 years ago. But it is what it is. If you want to drink a monster beer, this will put you in the hammer lane very fast. A lot of stuff going on with this beer, but the alcohol is definitely there. It is not hidden at all. The only thing I could say I would change about this beer or make it even better was to put in some bourbon barrels for a while. And that's probably going to increase the alcohol up to 14 or maybe even 15%. But it is a very tasty beer. I did enjoy it. So Brandon C., thanks again, my brother. This is a very tasty beer, but it is a monster beer. I enjoyed this, guys. I don't think it's a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9. I'm torn between a 95 and a 97 or a 98. He's given me a lot of information on this, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give it a 98. If you say, oh, this is a 10 beer, I would not argue with that, guys. It is a very tasty beer, but it is a big beer. It is slightly boozy, especially for the vintage that I have here. Like I said, it would probably be a great beer to cellar for a couple more years, and see if it gains in more complexity and the alcohol subsides a little bit. But right now it's kind of hot, kind of fresh, but still very enjoyable. This would be a good one if you can afford it and you have deep pockets to buy a 4-pack of this, because I'm pretty sure it's done in a 4-pack. To do one fresh and then do one maybe 2 to 3, 5 years, 10 years, 15 or even 20 years down the road, and see how the booziness subsides, or if it does. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, or gains in complexity and gets a little smoother with age. So, enjoyed it. Very nice. Brandon C., thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate it, sir. Like I said, 9 out of 10 for me. I'm going to give it a 98. It's pretty tasty. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says it's 4.16 out of 5. And their exceptional range, I think it's a little better than that, but it is a little on the boozy side, so that may be why the numbers are a little lower there. Over for our final check-in, we'll go over to Untapped. They have it at 4.14. Also, a little on the low numbers. Maybe the booziness is what's off-putting for everybody. I'm not sure. I didn't go through and read everybody's reviews on it. I kind of want to tell you what I think instead of what they think. But I did enjoy it. It's a very tasty beer. If I had a second one, I would probably sell her for 5 or 10 years just to see how much better it gets over time, and see if the booziness subsides a little bit, and see if it gains a little bit more complexity to the beer, which it will. It will. So if you've had this one from St. Arnold Brewing out of Texas, this is their Divine Reserve number 18. Let me know what you think, guys. I enjoyed this, but it is a big beer. Got my buzz on. So I'm done for the evening. Going to have some dinner and go to bed. Yeah, that's a ticket. So if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.